Okay, just waiting on some traffic and we'll back out here and I will attempt to hold a cell phone while driving down the street in rush hour afternoon traffic. We'll see how well this works. It takes off and drives good. It shifts through all the gears. It's got the 4-speed automatic 4L60 transmission, 350 V8. It drives really straight. I try to let go of the wheel. I can steer straight, but it doesn't pull to either side. It drives real straight. There's no bumps or anything wrong with the front end or the brakes. Brakes are real smooth. While we are doing this, and I can try to remember, it does have a small power steering fluid leak. I think it's the return hose that comes off the bottom of the pump. It's not a big deal, but I've noticed there's been some dripping on the driveway. It's not a big deal. I'll go under there and look at it, but I think it's a hose clamp on a hose on the bottom of the pump. Also, over time, the Freon does leak out of the air conditioner. It's got a Schrader valve that's bad on the accumulator, you know, where you put the charging hose. No big deal. I've bought a seal kit for it and a new Schrader valve, but it needs to be put in there because I bubble tested it and it had some bubbles leaking out of it. So it's not the cap, it's the actual little Schrader valve. It's got a couple of little pesky things like that that just need to be fixed. Well, the air conditioner works, and it's got rear air too, front and rear air, but it does have a small leak, and it's either that Schrader valve or the little seal in there. So I'm going to turn right here. I'm fixing to get into some speed bumps, so I'll pause this and come back when I get on a little bit better street. Okay, and like I was saying about leaks or drips, it does not have any oil leaks and no transmission fluid leaks. So no problems with any of that. The rear axle is good, doesn't make any noise. There's no leaking axle or differential. No leaking brakes. It has all new wheel cylinders and brake shoes and pads. I did all that myself. All the work on it. And that other rear seat, I mentioned it has one seat out right now. I do have that seat, it's just not in it. We took it out to have a lot more room in the middle part of the van. But here I am at the red light. It's idling real smooth. It's very quiet. Somebody did put an aftermarket JVC stereo in it. It's pretty cool. It sounds good. You know, it's not a super high power one, but it's nice. It's got an auxiliary in and a CD player, so it's all right. But the van takes off and runs good. It's got plenty of power. These were not super high powered motors, you know. They were 200 horsepower 350s. They weren't performance engines. So the van's not super quick, but you know, considering it's a pretty good sized vehicle, it's fine. And it can carry a lot of stuff. I'll take this on around. This is kind of a bumpy road right here too, so this is good that we're going over this. There's no rattles, or I'll try to hit some of the bumps. There's no big rattles or noises or anything. It's very tight. And it drives, just handling and driving it, I mean, it drives like a new car. That sounds silly to say, but it's extremely tight. It's very comfortable to drive. There's a bump. As noises. It does have new shocks. I'm trying to think of everything I've done to it. Suspension bushings, steering alignment, brakes, all new shocks. And I put the Monroe truck shocks on it, Monroe Magnum, which helped a lot. That smoothed it out quite a bit. It rides much better than the original Chevrolet shocks. It does have new tires, new spare, also has a new spare. And in a separate video, I will go through and look at the parts, the spare parts that I've got. They're in boxes. I'll have to go through that. Let me try to make a right turn with one hand here. Accelerate up this hill a little bit. Try to punch it just a little bit so you can see it takes off good. Kind of speeding right now, but that's a good stretch to kind of take off on. Turn here. But all the lights, turn signals, all that stuff works. Brake lights, headlights, bulbs. Everything works. No issues with any of that stuff. I do have a clear title in my name, and we've got it insured through State Farm. So, you know, we drive it. It's registered as a daily driver. See if I can turn here. All right. Okay. I'll drive a little fast through these curves just because I can. Maybe not. It does have a little more road noise than normal right now because the carpet is not in it. It has a metal floor right now. And, you know, once the carpet gets put in, it'll dampen down all of that. But you hear that rear axle making noise and the tires and stuff, and that's normal right now because it doesn't have any carpet. It made a big difference when I took all that out of it. It was quieter than that. Then I tore the old carpet out, which was just old and stained and needed to come out. All right, there's quite a few cars here, so I'm going to pause this and I'll come back. Another noise you can hear right now sounds like a little motor, like a little whine. That's the electric fuel pump in the gas tank, you know, and you can hear it right now because the carpet's not in here. So it sounds loud, but that's normal because when it's got the carpet and everything, you don't hear that. But I noticed that you can hear it after I took the carpet out. All right. Shift's real smooth. It's real quiet. Got a quiet muffler. You know, this would be a good candidate to go ahead and start working on. You know, and if you're going to customize it or whatever, without having to do a ton of mechanical work and all that, you don't have to do any of that stuff. Maybe some minor little things, but nothing that would stop you from going ahead and starting on it. Sorry, I know you can't see much right now, just my hand in the steering wheel, but I'm hoping you can kind of hear it running and going through the gears and stopping, and, you know, it's just me here today, so I don't have anybody to hold the camera. I figured I'd go ahead and make a video now instead of waiting until tomorrow. Brakes don't drag, all that's good. It stops real nice. Like I say, all that's new. And I've got receipts for everything. All the stuff that I've bought, repairs I've done, and there's a lot of receipts that go back to the 90s from the original owners. The receipt for the engine that they put in it. I don't know what happened to the engine. It had to be replaced under warranty by Chevrolet when the truck had right at 100,000 miles on it, or what it was, whatever the mileage was, right around there. And I don't know if they pulled an RV trailer. I really don't know, but for whatever reason, they had a warranty, and Chevy put a new engine in it, and that engine has about 90-something thousand miles on it, and that's what's in there now. And the transmission is rebuilt. There's paperwork on that. It's also got about the same, excuse me, about the same mileage on it. Maybe they were pulling a trailer, a camper trailer, and that's how they damaged the engine and transmission. I don't know, but that's been replaced years ago, you know. But there's no other weirdness. There's no suspension problems. Nothing's crooked. You know, the van sits straight. All the suspension's straight. Nothing's bent. So everything's just super, super straight on it. Wait for this car. It's got a Class 3 trailer hitch on it, so it's all pretty heavy duty. All right, coming back to our house now, so I'll turn up in the driveway. Let's see if I can activate the gate. Steer with my knees for a minute. There we go. Get up here in the driveway. Park. Turn it off. I'll start it back up. See if you can hear the engine running. It's just super smooth. I'm trying not to confuse it too much. Anti-lock brakes. You just saw the light go off when you start it up. And it's got the light that comes on for your parking brake over here. Parking brake does work great. It's set real stiff, so you can just push it down about 1/3 of the way, and you know, it'll hold real good. It doesn't slip or anything. It's got the little compartment there, ashtray, power socket, but the dashboard and everything, I mean, everything's just super clean. No broken glass. Like I said on the phone, I did get a windshield for it out of a late 80s model van at the junkyard. Picked a real good one, took it out, and then cleaned it real well. Took it to Discount Auto Glass, and they installed it, and it just went straight in. And that's been several months back, 5 months back, and it's perfect. There's no leaks, no issues. I mean, all the seat belts and other stuff's all there. The interior's all intact. So it's got the armrests. They're not the most comfortable in the world. I'd probably do something different, but it's all there. Anyways, I'm gonna send you these 2 videos, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. Thanks.